Hello everyone, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna compare two mid-range phones priced below 20,000 in India, the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max with the Moto G5 Plus. So these two phones are priced below 20,000 in India, and there are a lot of similarities between these two devices, and they also differ in various aspects. Now let's analyze these two devices and see which is the better device to buy in this price segment. So without any further delay, let's get started with a comparison. So first up, let's talk about the design and build quality. So design wise, you can see here both these devices are metallic construction. One is a 5.7-inch display, that's a Samsung Galaxy J7 Max, while it's the 5.2-inch screen size on the Moto G5 Plus. So if you're looking for a compact device, obvious choice would be the Moto G5 Plus, and the Moto G5 Plus is finished in premium aluminum aircraft grade aluminum alloy, so that makes this device slightly more premium looking than the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. So Samsung Galaxy J7 Max is also quite a well-built phone, but there isn't anything really outstanding about the design. It looks more or less like the previous generation J7 series devices. Now only addition is that there is a smart glue functionality on the rear panel, and overall the design and build quality looks quite good on both the phones, but our personal choice would be the Moto G5 Plus, which looks slightly different from most of the devices in this price segment. Now the other design aspects include power key on both the right side on both these devices. The volume keys are on the right side on the Moto G5 Plus, while it's on the left side on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. Now the SIM card slots is also on the right side on the J7 Max, while on the Moto G5 Plus it's on the top panel. The bottom panel houses the micro USB charging slot and the 3.5mm audio jack on both the phones. Now the speaker unit is on the front panel on the Moto G5 Plus, while it's on the sides on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. Now let's talk about the display. So we have a full HD displays on both these devices, and we have a TFT panel on the J7 Max, while it's an IPS LCD panel on the Moto G5 Plus. Now both these devices have a 1080p resolution, that's a full HD display, and the display quality looks really good on both the phones. The viewing angles and the overall color sharpness levels are really good on both the phones, but since the Moto G5 Plus is having a smaller display, the pixels per inch is slightly higher on the Moto G5 Plus, and hence we would slightly be inclined to choose the Moto G5 Plus in terms of the display quality. Next up, let's talk about the software. So both the phones run on Android 7.0, that's the latest version of Android. Technically that's not the latest version, but it does have Android 7.0, and we have two UIs. One is a stock-like UI on the Moto G5 Plus, while on the Samsung's J7 Max it's the Samsung's custom UI. So first let's have a look at the Samsung's UI. So you can see here the UI now feels more or less similar to the latest Samsung Galaxy S8. So the new UI features the new icons, the new notification center, quick toggles, and almost looks pretty similar to what is being offered on the Samsung Galaxy S8. So looking at the settings panel, you can again see that it comes with new features. There are some additional options included. There is support for themes, and there is also smart glow functionality. As I said before, the smart glow is a notification panel which provides light when there is a new notification, this when you're connected for charging, etc. So that's the purpose of the smart glow. So this is a glow ring around the camera unit, which works pretty well. So that's the smart glow functionality. Other than that, it also comes with Samsung Pay Mini feature. You can make payments with QR codes, so that's available. Then other than that, Samsung's typical functionalities like S-Secure and Secure folder are included, so you can secure your apps and personal files in the J7 Max. So the UI looks really smooth and performs pretty well on the J7 Max. Now let's talk about the UI on the Moto G5 Plus. So this is the stock Android, and there aren't any apps installed other than the Moto app. So Moto app provides some additional gestures. You can see actions, and there is also support for display options. So these are the additional options. Other than that, it's more or less like the stock UI. You can see the settings panel, exact implementation of stock UI, no additional apps included, and this phone comes with NFC available, so that's one useful feature available on the Moto G5 Plus. So other than that, this UI looks quite similar to any stock Android. So it's a personal choice on whether you like the stock UI or the Samsung's UI. So we will leave it to our viewers to decide which is better for them. But for us, we would say both are equally good, and we would be slightly inclined to choose the Samsung's UI because it offers some additional options. But there are a lot of users you might want the stock UI, and for them Moto G5 Plus is the perfect choice. Now let's talk about the performance. So we have two different chipsets on both these devices. We have the Helio P20 octa-core chipset coupled with 4GB RAM and 32GB storage, while it's a Snapdragon 625 on the Moto G5 Plus with 4GB RAM and 32GB internal storage. Now both these devices are quite good in terms of the day-to-day performance. There's hardly any issues in both these devices, but when it comes to the heavy graphic rich performance, that's where the Snapdragon 625 is slightly more powerful than the Helio P20 octa-core chipset. The gaming experience is again really good on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max, even though it has the Helio P20 chipset, and the larger display helps in better gaming. But other than that, we would say the gaming overall performance in terms of the graphic abilities is the Snapdragon 625 powered Moto G5 Plus. Now both these devices have dual SIM cards and 4G VoLTE support, and there is also support for micro SD card. Now the speaker performance on both these devices are quite decent. We have it on the side panel on the J7 Max, while on the front panel on the Moto G5 Plus. Now let's talk about the fingerprint scanner experience. So fingerprint scanner is located on the front panel on both these devices. Both are integrated with the home button. On the Moto G5 Plus, the fingerprint scanner also can act as the back and multitasking button and performs pretty well. Now the fingerprint scanner experience is really good on both these devices. Both can unlock the device in really good time. So there's no clear winner in terms of the fingerprint scanner experience. Now let's go to the camera aspect. So here both these devices are really good in terms of the camera aspect. In this price segment, we have a 13 megapixel camera with f-stop 1.7 LED flash, while on the Moto G5 Plus it's a 12 megapixel dual pixel camera with dual tone dual LED flash and f-stop 1.7. On the front panel we have a 13 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max, while it's a 5 megapixel camera on the Moto G5 Plus. Now looking at the camera interface, you can see that both these devices produce some good options in the camera, but we would say the options available on the J7 Max is really good. There is additional options and modes available, while on the Moto G5 Plus it's a plain and simple UI. Now let's have a look at the camera samples taken between these two devices. So here are the daylight shots taken with these two devices, and it's a really tough choice deciding which is a better device out there. Both these devices produce some really good camera abilities in this price segment, and they do really well in daylight conditions. Now when it comes to low light experience, again both these devices are almost similar in experience, although the clarity of the photos was slightly better on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max, while the sharpness levels were slightly better on the Moto G5 Plus. So it's a mixed performance between these two devices, and there's no clear winner in terms of the camera performance. The rear camera performed really well on both these devices with f-stop 1.7. Now when it comes to the front facing camera, that's where the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max excels, because it has 13 megapixel camera with f-stop 1.9 and LED flash. So that's one area where the J7 Max is the better choice. Now additionally, the Moto G5 Plus comes with a dual pixel autofocus and 4K recording abilities, while there is no 4K support on the J7 Max. Now let's talk about the battery. So we have a 3300 mAh battery on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max, while it's a 3000 mAh battery on the Moto G5 Plus. The Moto G5 Plus also comes with turbo charging, which is missing on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. Now the battery performance is really good on both these devices. With the Snapdragon 625 on the Moto G5 Plus, the performance is really good. The same is the case with the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max. The performance looks really good, and both these devices are really good in terms of the battery experience, and you can get slightly more than a day on both these devices. So now we have talked about almost all aspects of these two phones. So which is the better device to buy here? So Samsung Galaxy J7 Max is priced 17,999, while the Moto G5 Plus is priced 16,999. So there is a 1K difference between these two devices. So which is a better device to buy here? It's a really tough choice between these two devices. If you want a bigger screen, if you're looking for multimedia experience, gaming, then the bigger display on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max provides better experience. But if you want stock like UI and a compact device, then the Moto G5 Plus is a winner here. So there is no clear winner in our opinion between these two devices. So based on your priority, we suggest you to look out for the best device out there. If bigger screen is your priority, go for J7 Max, and if your compact device is your priority, go for the Moto G5 Plus, because most of the aspects both these devices are really good and neck to neck. So that was a detailed comparison of these two devices. Hope this video was useful. If you plan to buy these devices, the Moto G5 Plus is available on Flipkart, and there are two variants, and the Samsung Galaxy J7 Max is priced 17,999 and available in offline stores. So that's all guys with this comparison. Hope this video was useful. Do hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos and comparisons. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.